Before I came here at the Art and Studio home, I thought that it's so simple to buy a board game. And after that I saw the whole process and how many people work together to make only one board game, I feel much more respectful for this kind of people. And when I will return back at home and I will buy a new board game, I will feel much more respect for the whole people and for the game.
So, the manufacturing process in the beginning, before visiting the factory, in my mind, I thought it was more simple, more straightforward, and less time-consuming. But after visiting the factory, I realized that it takes a lot of time, processes are very detailed, and games, miniatures, they actually have to be part of little processes and little steps until the final product is made. So this has been very impressive to look from within the factory.
Definitely the number of experts involved in manufacturing a board game is much higher than what I imagined. Like from concept creation to technical experts to designing and to rule creation. There are a lot of people involved and all are experts in their areas, but also need to collaborate together.
Well, the main difference it was the process long that makes to make a boarding game, 6 months or 8 months.
The thing that impressed me the most in the manufacturing the board games is that they find a good idea for a board game and they work on it with all the rules that they need to play to give you the feeling of the board game, all the design for the cards, the miniatures and everything.
The machinery, of course, and how detailed they were. I'm really impressed.
I was mostly impressed about the creation of the molds because they design in very details the molds, and then they have machines that they make these details in the molds in order to make then the miniatures.
The most impressive part of manufacturing for me is the coordination that is needed in order to go to the final product from scratch to the initial concept, the scratch examples, the first drafts, and then all the effort that is needed into technical expertise in order to produce the molds, the cards and all the other components. It is not a simple process.
The key elements I would take in consideration during the manufacturing of my own board game would be the design process, making strong core mechanics for the game, and the good quality of components.
If I were to manufacture my own board game, I would take into consideration at first the needs of the target group that the game has, and after that, that I would like to take into consideration the feedback that everyone gives to the product.
The key elements I would take under consideration would definitely be the materials that would be needed and their costs, as well as ways to gather the funds that are needed for this huge endeavor, because as we have seen here, manufacturing a game is definitely not cheap, and it does not allow too many mistakes during the manufacturing process.
I think it's extremely educational because nowadays, maybe people always had something to learn. And in board games, you can learn about history, cultures, other cultures, even logistics.
The potential at the value of board games in adult education, I guess it is that the board games bring together peoples and make them to forget their problems, I don't know, other issues in their life, and they can be themselves and get fun for a few minutes, left behind ordinary life, and just get fun.
Board games can have a great educational value because they promote reasoning, critical thinking, decision making, and can be an easy way to learn a new subject.
Using board games in adult learning is very innovative. It offers great opportunities because it can actually create a means to incorporate different lessons, learning through game-based learning, learning through a specific context, a specific environment where players are invited to learn whatever theme, whatever context, and they can apply that knowledge. So this immersive learning is key to actually make the learning engaging, and in return, knowledge actually stays within.
I think there's great value in educating adults with board games because in our times there are plenty of people that, for example, have economic problems, and a simple game of economics, they can make them have better economic understanding.
It has a huge social value because you can play board games with other people that can know the same language or the age, different ages.
Board games have immense social value because they can create a context, an environment where people can learn. People are invited to be players firstly, and they can all participate from different backgrounds, different languages, all the differences that they might exist. And one recent example has been our yesterday's event, community event with Ukrainian community, where it was evident that younger age groups to older age groups, through different languages, they can work together and they can play a game cooperatively, and they can have fun and be part of a general group and be part in this inclusiveness.
I believe that the social value of board games is even more important than the educational value, and comes as a first benefit, and after that the educational value can be considered. But all board games will give a social experience and enhance social skills to the players.
I think that the most valued experience would be the industrial aspect of the production, the cost, the time it needs, and the work hours.
In my organization, I work sometimes with blind people, and I thought during this journey that we can make miniatures in order to play with blind people, because they have so many details and they will feel the game much more than us.
In our shared education organization, we planned already to buy some board games and organize board games nights with teachers, with adults, with kids also. So yes, it's bring a lot of added value.
As Dragon Rules Design Studio, we work very closely with the industry experts by participating in one part of this process, which is the actual rules development and the mechanic creation. It is something like the architects of the ideas. But we need to know that the things that we are creating have actual effect, and we need to know the constraints that the things we create will not be of an issue during the manufacturing process. Will not have any blocks, will not cost too much, and would be easy to manufacture.